Welcome back. This is Eric Hochstein from ChoiceWorks. Thank you for joining us for the second part of our discussion about the evolution of the enterprise service desk. With me are Jeff Rumberg of MetricNet, David Wright of the Service Desk Institute, and Sam Gross from ChoiceWorks. In the first part, we talked about the history of the service desk. We closed the conversation with some thoughts about the service desk of the future and the new technologies that are coming up. I'd like to pick up on that and ask Sam, to many people, the concept of a fully automated service desk is a holy grail. Is this a concept, a vision, or a reality at this point?
Well, I would like to say that it is beginning to become a reality. So the question is, why are we where we are today? We are where we are today because the technologies that we've been able to apply either to the front end or the back end have been evolving over time. And today, with combination of data technologies that we have and various different types of AI techniques, our ability to actually automate what is 70% at least extremely repetitive work, right? If you can write a knowledge article for it, if you have a product classification code for it, it's happening a lot. And so our ability to use these new technologies in order to actually deliver the remediation, not tell an end user how to do it, these have become a reality today, and we've built that technology at ChoiceWorks in our Aptinium product.
Jeff, in the past, endpoint management has been a very difficult issue. Why has it been so hard for service desks?
Well, there's, in the 50-year history of this industry, actually maybe 60 years, ITSM, IT Service Management, began in 1972. There have really been no disruptive changes in this industry. There have been incremental changes with the introduction of IVRs and ACDs, the introduction of ticketing systems, the introduction of knowledge systems, and more recently, the introduction of AI. Now, if you all are like me, the demos that you've seen of AI, with the exception of one, are not very impressive. I'm not going to call out names, but what I will say is that the AI tools out there basically read knowledge articles and then give the user an answer that comes directly from a knowledge article. Endpoint management is actually a tool being used by a number of organizations, and it has to be a part of any AI solution with service and support going forward, because you want to not just give the user an answer and give the user an answer quickly. You want to try and prevent incidents and service requests from happening in the first place, and that's where endpoint management comes in. So the tool that Sam was referring to, Aptinium, is really the first tool I've seen in this industry that has the potential to disrupt IT service and support, not only from a preventive, proactive perspective, that is eliminating problems and incidents at the source through endpoint management, but also through machine learning, providing the user with intelligent solutions on the spot. So basically eliminating wait time at the front end when the user has an issue, preventing incidents and service requests to begin with. So I do believe that we're on the verge of seeing the first truly disruptive change in this industry with the introduction of Aptinium.
David, any thoughts from the Institute's perspective? Is this the direction you think the industry should be going towards?
So if you look at some of the research we've done over the last year, one report asked organizations about this type of technology, so chatbots, virtual agents, not so much the endpoint stuff, if you like, per se, but just the use of this type of technology, maybe assistive. 22% of organizations strongly agreed that they would be investing in this type of technology over the next 2 years. 43% agreed, so that's 65% there in total. 35% disagreed or strongly disagreed. So some organizations still won't be looking to invest just yet. So there is an appetite for this kind of technology. We've also saw as well that there is a small shift in the way that people are using the channels. So telephony is shrinking slightly generally. And if you look at the statistics, then self-service is going up. And actually, over the last 2 years in one report, we saw over a 50% increase in organizations saying that their users were starting to use self-service. So I think there is a shift, definitely. We're at a tipping point, I think, soon. I really don't think there's a silver bullet there as yet. I think we're on the brink of seeing something radical probably in the next 18 months to 2 years.
Jeff, you measure value, and if we change the paradigm of the service desk, how do you measure value of a new environment like this?
One way you create value is to eliminate work in IT service and support. So worldwide, your average end user has 1.1 level 1 tickets per month, and they've got about a half a ticket per month at desktop support. So you're talking about 18 touches per year from an end user to service and support, and typically they're losing about an hour of productivity. So you're looking at 18 to 25 hours of lost productivity per end user per year. If we can eliminate half or more of those incidents, you're returning that productive time to the end user. It might be 10 hours, might be 15 hours per year, but that can be monetized. So perhaps the biggest source of value, in fact, I know the biggest source of value in IT service and support is the ability for service and support to return productive hours to end users. And then, of course, channel mix. If we can drive volume away from voice into chat is lower cost. Email, web-submitted tickets are also lower cost because they're not as spiky from an Erlang perspective. And ultimately, if we start to see widespread adoption and effectiveness in the self-help, self-service channel, deflecting those contacts into self-help, self-service represents a form of shift left, but that's going to create value as well. So value is going to come by reducing the number of tickets from a preventive perspective. Any effective AI tool has got to do that. Endpoint management is a big part of that. So we want to eliminate work if we possibly can, and then the work that's left over, we want to get it resolved as quickly as possible at in the lowest cost channel as possible, whether that's a self-help channel or, if necessary, a level 1 channel. Just a quick statistic on this. Today, there are 50% more level 1 agents worldwide than there were 10 years ago because the workload has grown at level 1, but there are 20% fewer desktop and field techs today than there were 10 years ago. That's largely the result of shift left, but also moving a lot of complexity into the cloud, so the desktop environment is locked down. It's a lot less complex than it used to be, but the implication is that level 1 is handling more complex issues, and that requires a better trained, more qualified, more experienced resource than we've historically seen. And this is one of the reasons why some of the AI tools that are on the market now are simply not keeping pace with the complexity of the tickets that are coming in at level 1. And the tools that can keep pace with the complexity of the tickets at level 1, they're going to be the winners here, both through reduction in ticket volume through endpoint management, as well as empowering the user to self-help, give them a solution instantaneously without any wait.
Sam, can you tell us one example of how Aptinium can do some of these problem resolutions?
One of the top hitters in problem tickets is your Outlook email. And so Aptinium is able to detect faults that occur in Outlook while you're using it, and then able to decide whether or not it's network activity that needs to take place, whether it's data, your OST or PST files, or whether it's configuration. And we're able to go in and automatically make those adjustments the same way, 100% digitally, the same way that a service desk agent would do if they took remote control of your desktop, except we would get the whole thing done in 30 seconds instead of a 20-minute remote control session.
And how close are we to seeing Aptinium in the market, Sam?
Aptinium is rolling out as we speak. Some large healthcare clients, some large managed service providers, and we're very excited.
Well, it certainly does sound like it is a possible inflection point in the industry, and we look forward to learning more about that in the future. David and Jeff, Sam, thank you very much for joining me today. For the audience, we welcome your inquiries. Please feel free to contact us. The information will follow in a moment. Thanks very much.